You know, there are a lot of great ways to raise money for children, and the group that we have here has a very unique and interesting way of raising funds for children's foundations. With us in the studio is R.C. Hawie. He is a pro boat race driver. And also Gary Levin. Gary is the president of the Race for Kids Foundation. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Now you guys have a great event coming up, Race for the Kids. Tell us a little bit about the event that you have here.
The event that we have coming up is Pro Boat Racing. It's the U.S. Title Series. These are pro race drivers from all over the United States. They'll be here April 12th, 13th, and 14th. That will be our first event, and that will be on Lake Cannon, 2400 Havendale Boulevard Northwest. That's right behind the Boys and Girls Club, and it's to benefit the Citrus Center Boys and Girls Club. The following weekend, we're going to be at Lions Park in Lake Alfred, and that's going to benefit the Parks and Recreation Department for the city of Lake Alfred. These are very unique type of boats that you're going to be seeing. RC can expound upon that a little bit better than I can.
Well, as far as the race goes, I mean, you're just talking about a boat race. I mean, like you said, they're unique boats. What kind of boats are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about hydroplanes and runabouts. These are specialized boats with specialized engines. They run on methanol and castor oil. They're all-out engines. They're not a modified fishing motor. They have no connection with the pleasure boat industry, so to speak. Highly stressed, high RPMs, 11, 12, 13,000 RPM motors. A lot of horsepower out of a very small package. And we're using the race as a way to raise money for the foundation. Right. You know, Race for the Kids Foundation spreads their money out throughout the community. So we've had a good cooperation with the foundation, with Polk County and the sports marketing. We're trying to build this up. We had one race last year, now we got two this year. We hope to do more and have an actual grapefruit circuit or a citrus circuit that we used to have. I'm a history buff of boat racing. Back in the 30s, they raced all winter long in Florida.
Wow.
Almost every weekend from middle of January or so into end of March, beginning of April, they raced.
Now, I love to watch boats. I love to watch races, but I know nothing about boats, and I'm sure plenty of our viewers are in the same, boat as me. Tell us a little bit about like these. I mean, you said about the engines being very high end. You know, they're not geared down or anything like that. But the boats themselves, these hydroplane boats aren't very big, are they? Or are they? Are they large boats?
When you look at them, they seem small to the public. The hydroplanes will range from the K-Pro class, which is a kid's class, from 9 foot. All the other boats are going to probably be about from 11 to 14 feet. The runabouts almost all the runabouts are 13 foot, except the smaller classes down around 12 and a half foot long. So yeah, that doesn't sound big, but they're built kind of high tech. Wood is still the primary material,
Really?
But it'll be reinforced sometimes with Kevlar, sometimes carbon graphite. Just plain old fiberglass cloth works.
Now, is there a reason why they still use wood? I mean, you would think that, you know, fiberglass and stuff like that would be much lighter, get you a better...
Because the boats are basically handmade, specially built, wood is still one of the best things to use, because if you want to make that minute change, you don't have to make a whole brand new mold. That's the trouble with working with a fiberglass mold, is you're stuck with whatever your mold is.
So basically they're building the boat to exactly the way they want it and then coating it with their carbon fiber or whatever it might be. Very interesting. Now, I kind of want to go back to the boats, but I'm really interested in a little bit more about the foundation itself. When you raise money, where's the money going to? What is the foundation really meant for?
Well, we really started it right after the 3 hurricanes of '04 as a fundraiser for the Florida Lions camp, because they were pretty well devastated, and they're right on Tiger Lake. So we did 3 races for them, 2 on Tiger Lake and one really right downtown Lake Wales, in Lake Wales. And primarily the money that we raised went to the Lions camp. After that, we did a race for Barney's Dream. Barney's Dream was part of a fundraiser for the Lake Wales Kiwanis, which was to build an all-inclusive playground for children.
Okay.
And then we just expanded from there. We did one for the Boys and Girls Club last year. Prior to that, we did 2 that we raised money for and gave to children's charities. One was the Sunshine Foundation in Davenport, and those were world classes. We had boat racers and teams from Asia, Europe, and of course from the United States. And those 2 were done in 2008 and 2010. And they were at Lions Park in Lake Alfred. It's been a while since we've been in Lake Alfred, and we're going to go back again. Hopefully, like RC said, we're going to be doing back-to-back next year and the year after, and and let this money go in for the recreation department for Lake Alfred and the Citrus Center Boys and Girls Club, which are in dire needs of funds.
Okay. Now, the events themselves, you've been doing this for, like you said, several years. It's gotten pretty big. You get a pretty big crowd there as well, right?
Yes.
I mean, these boats are not something that can be ignored. When they're out on the lake, you know it.
Oh, well, I don't know how big, well, I don't know the size of Tiger Lake, but people on the other side, which is a large lake, could actually hear them a few years back.
Yeah. RC, the boats themselves, I live close to Lake Hollingsworth in Lakeland, and they have the Orange Cup Regatta that goes on there, and they have the big cranes that lift the boats in. Do you have to do that with these boats, or are they much lighter, they're easier to get in and out,
we could physically carry these in the water.
They're that light, huh?
Yeah, basically 3 guys could carry it in. Most of the times we use a little dolly or cart. It makes it a little easier to, instead of walking in soft sand and over hard rocks. But yeah, at Hollingsworth they have the inboard classes and they have to be craned in. And we don't. Yeah. We can give us a beach, give us a ramp, we can race almost anywhere.
Set up just about anywhere. Yeah. That's great. Now, I watched a show that we tape here at PGTV, Sports Central, and you guys were on here talking about some of the boats, and I thought an interesting thing that you were talking about was that the drivers actually have to lay down in these boats.
Only in some of the classes. Most of the hydroplanes are lay down. And everybody says, how do you lay down in the boat? Well, under their chest, built in the boat, is a wedge, which keeps their head up so they're looking forward. And it lowers the center of gravity so that they can go through the turns a little faster as opposed to somebody kneeling, which obviously if you're kneeling, you're at a higher center of gravity. There's very few runabouts with a lay down. You still have to be able to move in a runabout. If it starts to pick up on you, you need to jump over the deck and save it.
So the hydroplane boats, they're the really, they're the really low profile boats. Now the runabout, what does the runabout look like?
Basically a flat bottom. There are chines for turning. It's not a complete flat bottom. It's one of the original boats from way back in the 1919s and when they started racing. It's a far cry from your pleasure boat, but that's how they all started out. Little pointy bow boat, very much back in the teens when they started racing. And there were displacement hulls. Now we're floating on top of the water. There is a cushion of air between the boat and the water.
Yeah, wow. So. And I would imagine with the engines that are on these, obviously the hydroplane boats have a lot of engineering in them. Like you said, making them out of wood so that you can just change the most minute, aspect of it. The runabouts, is there a lot of engineering with those, or do they pretty much stay the same?
There is some technology that went into those boats. The runabouts have more restrictions. The hydros are almost unrestricted. The runabouts have to be a certain length per class, a certain width. Other than that, we're pretty much free to go. And the biggest improvement is the Cryer brothers came out with what they call the Stealth Runabout. And it's kept the nose of the boat on the water. And we're able to go fantastic speeds and just feel so comfortable in the boat.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't that many years ago, you get the bow, five degree angle on the boat, and you were going over backwards and going over hard. So the runabouts have really become a much safer type of boat to run.
And that kind of brings me to another question. How safe is the sport? I mean, obviously, you see a lot of, car racing industry, all the different dangerous sports. You see a real push to make the sport safer, to come up with different technologies that make the athletes safer. Do you see that in the hydroplaning and in the runabouts?
Yeah, there's always equipment they're trying to improve on. The bigger hydro classes went to an enclosed capsule or reinforced capsule, reinforced cockpit. And they're sitting down and they've got seatbelt system like the car racers have. They have a breathing system. They felt those boats were too fast and they needed to protect the drivers. Right. In the open cockpit boats, we obviously have a helmet, we have a life jacket made special for racing. We wear cut-resistant pants and sleeves. They're working on a better, say, head and neck restraint system.
Right.
I'm not impressed with what they've come up with myself, but it's something they're looking into.
They're moving forward with it.
Yeah, and if there's new materials that come out, Kevlar, believe it or not, is not the strongest material when it gets wet for cut resistance. There are other materials they're looking at that some of the companies have worked with. So there's always constant improvement in the boats. Like I said, with the runabouts, they're become a lot safer with the new style runabout.
Well, it sounds like these boats are really a spectacle to watch and to see them race. Sounds like these are going to be terrific races, terrific event to get out and see.
That they're going to be.
Guys, thanks so much for coming on, telling us about it. Gary, I think you might have some more information that you wanted to share with us.
Well, first off, you can check everything out on our website, raceforthekidsfoundation.org, or on www.todayandtonight.com. We're going to have plenty of vendors at both events. In Winter Haven, we will have a beer garden. It's just really action-packed fun for the whole family. And come and support us. Come and support the community.
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's the Race for the Kids 2013 U.S. Title Series. This is going to be a terrific event. Definitely going to be something you want to get out there and see. Support the Race for the Kids Foundation and the money that they're raising for the Citrus Center Boys and Girls Club, along with Lake Alfred, their Parks and Recreation Department, building improvements and building parks in that community. Make sure you get out there, support it. It's going to be a great time. Lots of things going on. Terrific boats to watch. This is going to be a lot of fun. If you need any more information, you can contact Gary at 954-732-2393, or you can contact Tracy Green at 863-401-8001. And of course, you can also check out their website at www.raceforthekidsfoundation.org. The first race will be on April 12th through 14th, and it's going to be at the Citrus Center Boys and Girls Club at 2400 Havendale Boulevard Northwest in Winter Haven, and they're going to be racing on Lake Cannon. And the second race will be held from April 19th through the 21st. It's going to be at Lions Park at 175 North Nakoma Avenue in Lake Alfred. And they will be racing on Lake Alfred. The event is $5 per person. Kids under 12 are free. There's $5 premium parking at the Boys and Girls Club and $5 parking at the Lions Park.